This time on the Families Matter Most podcast.
Try to withhold judgment, try to take your own emotions out of it and ask them questions and talk them through these scenarios. What did you do and how did that work out for you? Was that a good idea? Would you do that again? What would you do next time? Okay, give that a try. I believe in you. You've got this.
Every time Jen Dean speaks, I can see hope, knowledge, expertise, wisdom, and love.
When Jen Dean speaks about parenting, we make sure that we are there to listen because we know we will get valuable advice.
Families Matter Most with Jen Dean.
She doesn't just give skills for us to be better parents, but she teaches us how to reach our children's hearts. And at the end of the day, that's what truly matters.
Today on the Families Matter Most podcast, I'm going to answer a question I get a lot. I've told you before, the number one most phone calls I get is for 7-year-olds. Parents of 7-year-olds call me more than any other age. Number two is 9-year-olds. So if you have a 9-year-old, here is a common question. Hey, Jen, I've got a 9-year-old and a 3-year-old. I've got a 9-year-old and a 5-year-old. There's a bit of an age gap in there, and I'm noticing that it's been a struggle. I'm really hard on my 9-year-old. I'm frustrated a ton. My 9-year-old is angry, and they're having almost like they're regressing. My 9-year-old is having tantrums. There's drama, there's anger, there's tears, all the things. Help. Is that you? Can you relate to that? My 9-year-old. Let me give you some tips that you can use right now. And by the way, if you have a question, email me, hit reply, send me a note on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, TikTok, all the things. Go to my website, click contact me, send me an email, send me your question, book a strategy call. All of these are topics that aren't just about you, because if you're struggling with this, I can guarantee you're not alone. Other parents are dealing with the same thing. So today, your 9-year-old, you also have a younger sibling. What can you do? Well, first of all, the number one thing I see when I work with parents with a 9-year-old and then a younger kid is we forget that our 9-year-old is 9. No, give me a second here. We forget that they're older. They're not the same. They are not a 4-year-old that's bigger and more dexterous, bigger physically. We forget that, they're not just a toddler that's more responsible. And I get it. I get it. When I had my kids, it was nice to think, okay, I have an older kid now that can be helpful. They can do some chores. They can empty a dishwasher. They can bring me the diapers. They can help watch their little brother or little sister. I get all of that. I understand the temptation. I am here as your life coach to remind you that they are still just 9 and they need you. Yes, they seem so much bigger than the younger sibling, but the biggest frustration that I get to help parents figure out and overcome is your 9-year-old isn't just a toddler that's grown. Your 9-year-old now doesn't want to just follow orders. And that's what we do when we have a bigger kid. We have so many things in our brain. We've got like 1,000 things on our to-do list that we're just like, okay, you go here, you do this, get this, put your backpack away, empty the dishwasher, help clean up, go have a shower, do the thing, watch your sister, bring me this. I know, we can be there. But I'm here to tell you on behalf of your 9-year-old, that's not going to work. That's going to cause a ton of frustration. There's going to be pushback. There's going to be tantrums, meltdowns, and you're going to be frustrated. So take a breath, drop your shoulders. Your 9-year-old needs to have a voice. So what you need to do, you need to shift how you parent. And this is going to happen over and over again. We do it at 9. We do it again at 12. We do it again in the teenage years. But for 9, what I want you to think about is asking questions. They just want to feel heard. They just want a voice. Now, this is not a democracy. They don't have an equal say in the decisions you make for your home. You could say, hey, you know what? I am going to make a final decision, but do you have an opinion? Is there anything you'd like to share? What do you think I should do? And you can say, okay, I'll think about that. Even if it's ridiculous, even if it's the worst idea, right? You can say, okay, thank you. Thanks for telling me what you think. I will take that under consideration. I will make a decision. Or your father and I will make a decision. But we did want to ask you what you thought about it. And then when you make the decision, you can come back and say, now, I know you disagree, and I know that this was your point. However, we decided we're going to do it anyway. Right? This is it. This is just about asking questions, just slowing down and asking questions. 9-year-olds tend to do really well with competition and challenges. So instead of saying, I want you to put your clothes away, I want you to have a bath, I want you to fold the towels, I want you to put your backpack away, like instead of just these commands, these orders, these instructions, what if you made it a challenge? What if you said, hey, we got some work to do. Let's see if we can get it done in half an hour, and then we can hang out and watch a YouTube video together. Oh, we got some work to do. Let's have a competition. I've got to do these things. You got to do those things. Who's going to get done first? Anything to make it fun. Now, some kids love a timer. Some kids don't. Like, you decide how this will work for your family, but making it fun, even putting on some music and having a dance party as you're drying dishes. Why not? Why not make it fun? 9-year-olds love this. They thrive off of it. So it's not a matter of getting more done. And I think that's the key. You don't just have a bigger toddler. You have a 9-year-old. You have a preteen, and they are shifting. Also, their world is changing. They are developing. All of a sudden now, the opposite sex, maybe some's kind of cute. You know, maybe all of a sudden now it's weird to be friends with someone, and the kids are talking. We start to see cliques forming. We start to see friend groups aligning, disaligning. There's loyalty, there's cool. That's starting to happen. And with all of that, there's a ton of anxiety. There's so much fear in your 9-year-old, so much fear. So encouraging them, you've got this. What are you going to do? What do you think I should do in these situations? How are you going to handle this? What do you think about peer pressure? How do you feel about these friends? And being able to not have judgment, know that every terrible thing a kid does to your kid, just know your kid isn't an angel either. I have learned all of this the hard way. And every time you think, right? Every time, I promise you, every time you think my perfect little angel would never... Yeah, that's a red flag. Your perfect little angel is growing. They are trying things out. Always, there are two sides. And I promise you, there's the benefit of the doubt. There is, you know what? I am pretty sure there's more to this story. There is a ton of anxiety going on in your child at 9 years old. So try to withhold judgment, try to take your own emotions out of it, and ask them questions and talk them through these scenarios. What did you do? And how did that work out for you? Was that a good idea? Would you do that again? What would you do next time? Okay, give that a try. I believe in you. You've got this. You are the voice in their head. And that voice, we want it to be positive. We all have that terrible voice in our head, right? That voice that says, I'm stupid, I fail all the time, it never works, it never goes my way, I always mess it up. We have that voice in our head. Let's do everything we can to not add to any voices in our kids, right? Let's really not. And if that's you, I've done it. I know that I have. My kids have all been in therapy because of me. I get it. I get all of that. Your kids need you to be that positive voice. I believe in you. You've got this. You can do it. Hey, even if you make a mistake, let's talk about it. Let's figure out a better way. You can do it. This is what they need to hear. This is what I want them hearing in their head. One of my personal ones that I've used is, I can figure it out. I may not know how to do this. I may not be good at it at first, but I can figure this out. I'm good at figuring things out. I'm good at trying again. Let's start saying those things to our 9-year-olds, to our kids. The last thing I want to talk about is our kids. They're on the one hand feeling more mature. So some days you're going to think, wow, they're capable of so much. They are so mature. This is incredible. And some days you're going to look at them and think, what? Could you at least act as mature as, your little sibling. I understand this is normal. And oftentimes, multiple times a day, this will happen. Sometimes they'll act so mature and responsible, and other times they'll regress, and you'll think, what? Do I have another toddler here? What's going on? It's normal. What I want you to think about is your kids are practicing in their development. They're practicing moving into the bigger kid bucket. So they're in this bucket. They're in the bigger kid bucket. They're mature. They're responsible. And when that happens, you can treat them a little bit more mature and responsible. Hey, you know what? You did a fantastic job today of holding yourself together. I know that was really hard. I know you were tired. You were at a sleepover, and those are often hard days. And you were really patient and tolerant and kind to your little siblings. Thank you. You know what? This is great. You want to take some time for yourself? You've done awesome. What do you want to do? Wonderful. So you can treat them older when they're acting older, but when they regress and they start to go into that, the toddler box, maybe your 9-year-old starts acting like when they were 6 or 7. Instead of shaming them, this is what I don't want you to do. Do not shame your 9-year-old. Do not shame any of your kids, please. Try not to. But do not shame that 9-year-old. Because it's normal developmentally. They're going to have some times when they're acting more mature. They'll have other times when they're acting immature. And it's very normal. In fact, you could think of it this way. Sometimes they're trying on some bigger clothes, and sometimes they're going back to their comfortable clothes. So for example, you might find your 9-year-old sometimes crawls onto your lap and cuddles with you, like they did when they were younger. And that is a sweet, beautiful thing. I promise you that will not last forever. My youngest is 19 now, and I don't remember the last time he crawled onto my lap and snuggled me. It's been a long, long time. Enjoy it. Take it. Rub their head. Do the things you used to do when they were younger. Read to them. Do whatever. Spend that time with them. Enjoy it. It won't last, and it's normal. When it's a negative behavior you're seeing, they're regressing like they're 6 or 7, just go back to that bucket. Instead of saying something shaming like, what's wrong with you? I thought you were 9 years old. You're 9, act your age. Instead of saying any of those things, instead, we just switch in our head. Okay, they're going back to the little kid stuff. So I'm going to treat them more little kid. When they're more little kid, I'm not going to give them so much freedom and autonomy. I'm going to say, okay, buddy, you know what? We got to get our clothes in the laundry. We got to have a bath, and then we got to get ready for bed. Whereas with the older 9-year-old, I might say something like, hey, you know what? It's going to be bedtime soon. Do you feel like you got it? You're good? You know what to do? Great. Go ahead. Do you see what I mean? Without the shame, we're just switching gears. It's all normal. It's all fine. And in fact, if they didn't do that, it would be abnormal. Their brain is figuring it out, and they're going to be trying on different versions of themselves, seeing how it feels. It's kind of like the toddlers when they're little, like the 2-year-old, the 1-year-old even, they learn to walk. And what do? They toddle out away, and then they turn around and come back. Am I safe? You're still there? That was scary, but I did it. It was good. This is good. This is fun. And then they go out maybe a little bit further, and then they come back. But they always have that coming back. When they're toddlers, we have to welcome them back because it's all normal. They're checking. Think of it that way. Your 9-year-old is trying on that bigger bucket, those bigger clothes. I'm going to try and be a little more mature and responsible, but it's hard work. And so then I'm going to come back, and maybe I'm going to go play with Barbies for a while, and maybe I'm going to crawl onto mom or dad's lap. Maybe I'm going to act a little bit whiny when I'm tired. Okay, and then I'm going to try it out again and then come back. All normal. This is your 9-year-old. This is your 9-year-old. Absolutely love them. Love them. Ask them lots of questions. Know that they're in some anxiety. Be that positive voice in their head, encouraging them. Be open to conversations, to go through role playing. What would you do in these situations? How did that go? What would you do differently next time? Do not get emotionally involved, and do not shame them. It's all normal. I hope that helps. Send me more questions.
Thanks for listening to the Families Matter Most podcast with Jen Dean. Book a free strategy call today and get the tools and tips you need to be a more calm and confident parent. For more podcasts, online courses, or just to get more information, visit familiesmattermost.com.
Childcare causes a lot of issues, right? It's stressful. Maybe you have before and after, but then what are you going to do? Easter break? Is your childcare person taking time off? What about summer? Does the organization, do they offer childcare in the summer? It's really stressful, and I have a solution for you. It's Care for Kids. If you're in the Regina area, there's tons of locations. Just Google Care for Kids Regina and reach out, contact them, tell them I sent you. They have it covered. They have before and after school. They have parent-teacher days off. They have holidays like Easter. They have parent conference days, so you don't have to worry about what you're going to do with all the kids. They have summer break, and they have punch cards, so you can mix and match. You can figure out what's going to work for you. I love that they've taken the stress out of it. Is one organization that does it all. It is so, so worth it. I love that they have themes. They do learning all the time. I was speaking with a principal who shared that Care for Kids is the best before and after school program she's ever seen. And she's seen a lot in her career. This is not your typical childcare. This is learning. Older kids have a leadership track they can follow where eventually they can get paid to work at Care for Kids.
We can't wait to come back tomorrow.
Care for Kids, the perfect place to play.
I can't say enough about them. Google them, get the punch pass, or sign up for the full-time care. You won't regret it.